Welcome to Make Happy. And we have motorcycles because we're on Melrose again at Flow and Cafe on the side.
Love
Our
it.
local cafe that we enjoy going to because they don't kick us out here. Oh yeah, this is gonna sound
Wow.
crazy.
Just really revving it up on
Yeah,
a Friday.
yeah. He's showing out today. All right, introduce yourself.
Okay, so to the camera.
It is it. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it is fine.
Hi everyone. I'm Brittany Goodwin. I'm a multi-hyphenate creative. I am a musician, a content creator, model, and an actress. But I believe we're talking about music today mainly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, we're gonna talk about what you want to talk about today.
yeah, I'm an open book. So just all around creative. I do a lot of things: content creation, music, acting, and I've just been creative my whole life, I want to say. So
We
Yeah.
are in LA. Where are you from, and how did you get here?
I'm from Rancho Cucamonga, California. I grew up there all my life and still have family out there.
Okay.
And what was the next part of the question?
And how did you get here?
Oh, how did I get to LA? So it's kind of funny because I got my bachelor's at UC San Diego.
Okay.
After that, I moved to LA for the first time. Stayed here for a little bit in Inglewood.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to move to New York. So I moved to New York for 3.5 years.
Dang.
And then I came back to LA in 2022. So now I'm back in LA and doing
moved back for
creative
the weather?
things. Yeah, I came back. I came back because I missed the sun and I don't know, the hustle bustle can be a lot sometimes. And I feel like I needed a break from it. And I missed my family too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's far away.
Yeah.
So you would say that New York has a stronger hustle and bustle than LA?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I think New York is a place where I think that you kind of have to figure out what you want to do, because without like a drive or like a motivation, I just feel like it'll eat you alive in a way. And
Okay.
I think LA is a little more chill. Like,
dang, that's crazy. That's crazy to think that LA is more chill.
Yeah.
Because I come from San Diego, and when I come to LA, I'm just like, man, this place is ridiculous. Like, you know, I'm in the outskirts in Santa Monica, so it's not like super crazy. But to get to anything that you would want to get to in LA, you have to go into LA, you know?
Yes.
And that part is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Yale is not here today because of that ridiculousness, and he's just stuck in traffic. So it's just gonna be me and Brittany today.
Yeah,
and,
traffic is crazy out here.
Yeah. And especially during this time. What the time is it? It's 3:30. So this is peak.
Right.
Peak.
Everyone's driving right now.
Yeah, peak ridiculousness. Everyone's showing out, and it's Friday, so people want to show out their motorcycles, their whatever fancy cars they got, or whatever fancy car they rented.
Everyone's off of work. They're just like all out right now, and the weather's nice, so I get it.
So you graduated UC San Diego.
Yes.
What did you go to school for?
So originally I went to school for creative writing.
Okay.
So I got in for a creative writing major. And then I found out probably like a couple months in that it wasn't really for me. And I decided to switch my major to cultural studies.
Okay.
So after that, I was just studying like culture, like took classes on like Bollywood movies. And
those are funny.
Yeah, those are good. They're really like long, but good. Really
And
good.
they're super dramatic.
Yeah, so dramatic. Yeah. But the music and the dancing,
Yeah.
like very cool. I would like write papers about like
Oh, okay.
Bollywood films.
Yeah.
So yeah, cultural studies.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then cultural studies. So you're in San Diego 4 years at least, probably.
I actually took a non-traditional path.
Okay.
So I went to community college
Okay.
for 2 years and got my associates. And then I transferred to UC San Diego.
Gotcha.
And I was there for 3 years.
Okay.
So kind of had like a start in college.
Yeah.
Going to community college first.
So from going to creative writing to cultural studies, how did that influence you moving to New York?
So it's actually really funny because I feel like for the longest time, I just grew up being a writer too. Like I would write journals, write poetry. And for the longest time, I wanted to be like Carrie Bradshaw.
Okay.
Like writing for like papers or magazines.
Yeah.
And so after I switched my major and just learned more about the world, I feel like it wasn't as restricting, I felt, to just learn about the world. And when I decided to move to New York, it was like it was for a job change, like a career change, but it was also just like, I just wanted to change the scene that I was in and meet different people. Okay. And that's what I got. Like New York is full of so much culture and like.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about that.
Yeah, just like a lot of different kinds of people that live there. So yeah, for me, I think after college, I was still kind of craving like newness and information. And then moving to New York kind of like was that for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you do in New York that for 3.5 years?
Yeah.
What was that looking like?
Yeah, it was I had a lot of ups and downs in New York. I'm not gonna lie. I did start actually formally like writing music when I was in New York.
Okay.
And started to make beats.
Nice.
Just like on my laptop.
Yeah. With
my little MIDI keyboard. And it was a learning experience for me. And I think being in New York kind of just like shaped like who I am now, because I feel like I was able to try a bunch of different things. I got into advertising, which is the career path that I'm in now.
Nice.
And yeah, I feel like I just got to like experience the world in a different way than living in California, because New York is very different from LA.
Yeah.
Like it's very different.
Yeah.
But I think
California
it's really cool.
is just different.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is very. It is very different. Yeah.
So New York, you got into advertising. That's when you started making music. Have you always been into music, and that was just the first time that you actually started making music?
I've always been into music.
Yeah.
Just growing up, like I remember my dad like would listen to jazz a lot, and like he'd have like records, and my mom would listen to like Shaka Khan and Earth, Wind and Fire. So like I feel like my foundation for music started very young, at least like listening to it and having like a interest in it. And then at some point in time, I remember I was like a teenager and I started to like learn piano chords. Okay. Just for fun. I didn't have a piano, but whenever I'd go to my friend's house, I would like pretend I could play. And then around 2020, I started to honestly just like learn more about making beats. And I was starting to do like covers and like pretty much transition like my experiences into lyrics. Okay. And that was kind of like where at least like my music foundationally started, was just like writing, I started to learn guitar, was like playing some keyboard.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like blossomed from there.
Nice. Then what made you want to come back to LA?
Come back to LA?
Yeah. Because it seemed like, you know, you got the cultural degree, you got the job there, you started making music.
Yeah.
And you just getting homesick, or like what happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of things. So when I was in New York, like the last year, it was like pretty much the year after COVID happened. So it was like everyone was home, everyone was like, you know, stuck in place, or like, and that was a really like pivotal point for me. That's when I started to write more, actually. Like, I didn't have to go to work 40 hours a week, didn't have to get up and go on the subway an hour there, hour back. It's just, I got so much of my time back. And because of that, I feel like I got to be a lot more like introspective. And I think when I was more introspective, I was able to see what am I doing here? Like, what is actually like motivating me to be here?
Yeah.
And it was a moment when I just felt like, man, I really miss home. I miss like California. I miss just like seeing my family more often. And I feel like at that point, New York didn't really serve a place for me. I feel like I kind of did the things I wanted to.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
it just ran its course.
Yeah, it ran its course.
Yeah.
I think naturally things kind of do.
Yeah.
And then I came back to LA, got my own place, which was really important for me too.
Yeah.
Because I had roommates the whole time I was living in New York, and
you probably needed that.
I needed, yes.
Yeah, hold on one sec. There we go.
Yeah, roommates. The roommates I had in New York were like on another level. I think like
was it too party like, or what?
It was just like they weren't that like clean, and it was just a lot of stuff that I had to take on, and I was like, I'm not your mom. Like it was a lot. So yeah, when I moved back to LA, I was like, I'm getting my own place. And I love it. So I'm just, the pivot was necessary, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, having your own spot is amazing.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in the military, I roomed with 5 other dudes.
Oh, wow.
And we did it on purpose because rent was only $200 then, you know what I mean? So
that's amazing.
We just put bunk beds everywhere. Like it was a 2-bedroom, so we had a bunk bed in each bedroom, and then a bunk bed in the living room. And we just said we're just gonna run with this and see how long it goes. But it gets ridiculous really fast with roommates, like really really fast.
Yeah.
Especially, how old were you when you were there? You're probably early 20s when you were in New York.
Yeah, I was like late 20s.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then your roommates are probably young-ish.
They were like early 20s.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that combination is like, you know, everything's everywhere.
Right. No. Yeah. Just a lot of changes that I needed to make, and not having roommates was one of them. So
I know. The next change I need to make is having an in-home laundry.
Oh yeah, that's a luxury right there.
I know. Ours is on site, but it's still boo-boo. Like, you have to like put in the quarters and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
You know. So in terms of your artistry, what is your like main interest right now, and what projects are you making? Like what is going on with, are you just focusing on music right now, or are you doing like writing, or is that just like encompassing everything pretty much?
Like writing music?
Yeah,
I'm doing a lot of things.
yeah.
I'm writing music, I'm composing it on guitar, producing it as well. Also just like thinking about visuals.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, you're good.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I'll just wait till he's done. Yeah, composing like the visual story as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay.
Just like crafting my upcoming single that I'm coming out with.
Nice.
And yeah, just like producing it. It's literally like a ground up kind of thing. But I'm really excited about it. Like I've been loving to like dive into different genres and kind of genre bend. And I think that that's like my favorite thing about music is you can really do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And it's a fun, creative space to play.
What genre is this single?
The genre, this is what I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a dance, pop, soul song.
Dance, hop, soul song.
Dance, pop, soul.
Oh, dance, pop. Okay.
Yeah.
Pop. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I feel like it is.
What is it? The music that makes it that way, or is it the words that make it that way?
I feel like it's like a two-parter. Like the music makes it dance pop to me.
Okay.
The words make it soul.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what is dance pop?
Dance pop. I feel like dance pop.
Is the dance part like on the beat, like on the one do like you know what I mean? Like like how house is. Like it's always on the one, like the kick is always on the one.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Is it like that? Is that dance, or what is dance
It's
considered?
like, I feel like it's kind of like, it makes me dance.
Okay.
The song makes me dance.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like I want to say, it's not like
Yeah.
like that,
Uh-huh.
but I think it's like it's a nice, like, you can get like a nice vibe to it. And I
Okay.
feel like I don't make like super hard like dance electronic music,
Yeah.
but like having a blend of like a soulful sound with dance music sounds cool to me. So yeah, that's what I think it is.
Okay. So it's like a upbeat R&B kind of, or is soul R&B?
I think it can be. Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking just like a faster pace R&B. That's what
Yeah,
what I'm thinking.
it's a faster pace R&B.
Okay.
I would say like soul song.
Yeah, that's what's so different in today's genres of music, is that West Coast songs used to just be West Coast sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now it's like anything. Like it's like everyone, like East Coast people are doing West Coast sounds, West Coast people are doing East Coast sounds, and it's kind of like just a melting pot now of how music is, because everyone is like from all over the place.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's what's been interesting in the music space.
Yeah.
Is that it's gotten so accessible that now people can really like create what they want to create.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like even back in the day, you kind of had to get signed just to get to the equipment.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, and now
The
today
accessibility has changed a lot.
You can literally like make songs on your phone.
Yeah.
Like GarageBand.
Steve Lacy did it.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, I've seen people make some fire stuff just on GarageBand or whatever it is, and it's like, wow, that's crazy. I'm here like using every program you can think of, Pro Tools, whatever,
I know.
and yeah, that's interesting. Do you have a like a go-to DAW that you use?
Yes. So I use Logic majority of the time. Logic is I'm also just like an Apple girly. Like
Yeah.
I have an Apple phone,
Yeah.
MacBook.
You're
I like the
you're in
formatting.
the sandbox of
Yeah, I'm
Apple.
in the sandbox of Apple. And GarageBand as well.
Okay.
So Logic and GarageBand are like my go-to.
Nice. Yeah, there's my teacher in when I was doing audio engineering school. He's had Grammys and all this stuff. He's like multi-instrument guy, and all he uses is Logic. So it's like I'm here in school learning Pro Tools because they make us use it because all the studios use it. Yeah. But he's like, I've been in this industry forever and I just know Logic. I don't even know how to do Pro Tools, you know? And it's so interesting that like you can literally, if you can just make music, it doesn't matter like which DAW you're using because it's just the music is the music.
Right. Like you wouldn't know. Like some of my favorite songs were made on like Logic. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like you wouldn't know though.
Yeah.
So it is interesting.
So then are you recording? You're recording everything at home pretty much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that process for you?
I honestly did a lot of like research, like YouTube University all the way. Like YouTube is a great resource for finding out how to self-record.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting. Like I've kind of found my method. I record in my closet and I just like put up sound, like I don't know what it's called.
Like your own booth?
Yeah, I kind of make my own booth and I record my guitar with my Focusrite. I forgot what it's called.
Interface.
Yeah, my interface. My audio interface. And yeah, I just kind of like, I'm very like DIY. Like I feel like that's just how I've been creating music just in general. So I can like find ways to make it work. Yeah.
I think that's the best part of the DIY because you don't have to wait to go to the studio or whatever. And the good thing is because you're already making music on your own, if and when you decide to use a studio, it's just going to be that much better because you already understand the process.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because have you recorded in the studio yet?
Yes.
Okay. So so like even going to the studio, like you may not understand the concept, but you don't even have to. That's what the engineer's for.
Right.
And then they just help you do whatever it is you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier because I've worked with people who's like, yeah, I want to make music, but I've never done any of this stuff. And it's a lot harder to go with that. It just the session just takes longer just to even get started. Because you're trying to explain certain stuff, or whatever. So, like for the people out there really trying to be musicians and recording musicians is really just try to understand what you're doing. Like YouTube University, like what Brittany's saying, you know what I mean? Like you literally can learn as much as you can on that stuff. And don't let your equipment like stop you from making stuff. You know what I mean? Like these mics, like this type of mic is like $100, $150 max.
Yeah.
And those are the best mics to use at home when you don't have a studio because I've used a really good like condenser mic and it's too good. In
like
in
it
my
gets
part.
everything.
Yeah. And so like when you're using like a super sensitive mic, like I can hear the dog across the street. You know what I mean? Like you can hear the birds chirping in the background. Like it's crazy how freaking sensitive some of these mics are. So if you want to just get started, like literally just get you start
with like the bare minimum if you can, and then mic you can kind of like build from there.
Exactly.
How
did you what like made you want to start recording? Like what got you like, let me start recording some music? You know what I mean? Like what was that inspiration? How did you get to that point? Because you said you started that in New York. So were you around like other musicians or what? Like, you know what I mean? Like what was that process like?
So before I moved to New York, I was actually working at a radio
Oh,
station,
nice.
and seeing live music was really inspirational.
Yeah.
Because it was like a independent radio station, and like they just had a lot of like pretty much a lot of the stars now were on that radio station when they were coming up.
Yeah.
So it was very inspiring, and I feel like I was able to be in a space that was almost like, I was like, how can I not be inspired surrounded by all this music? And so after when I was moving in or living in New York, I just like went through different experiences, and I feel like it was kind of like the best way for me to articulate it was through a song.
Yeah.
So I just started writing, and then it started to be like, okay, because I had done like singing covers and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I'm like, oh, like, I feel like I have a good voice. Like maybe I should just, do a little something and put it up on SoundCloud.
Okay.
So that's what I started to do, just like make different stuff, put it on SoundCloud.
Okay.
And honestly, just start from there. I didn't think about it too much at the beginning because it was just like fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I started to record myself, I was like, oh wow, now I'm learning production. Now I'm learning all this behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And that was really cool too, to learn as well. And I just feel like the more that I create things musically, the more I'm like, wow, I'm really glad that I touched so many pieces of the project. Like I'm in the weeds of production. I'm doing the audio recording. I'm doing the guitar, like the writing. Like I love seeing the full scope of a project. And I think it's just been like really cool to see it come to life.
Yeah. Being around other musicians is so fun.
Yeah.
It's just so like when you see like the vibes that just gets created because of the music and because people are like really enjoying playing or singing or performing or whatever, it's super fun. And I want to get into like, what would you tell someone that wants to get started but is overthinking? Like, how did you get overthink? Because I think a lot of artists want to be like perfectionists, and you can work on a song for like forever, and you can constantly just keep editing and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, because even with mixing, I could be like, oh, I like how the kick sounds, and the next day I'm like, I don't like how the kick sounds anymore. Let me change, or whatever. And it could just be a never-ending like cycle of you just trying to tweak. And so, how did you get to that point of let me just make and then put out, make and then just put out? Like, how did you get to? How did you get to that? Yeah,
that's a great question. Honestly, completely honest, that's been the main hurdle for me, actually, is overthinking.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to move past that is to develop a sort of confidence in yourself that is so strong that you are a musician for a reason, and like you have this gift and this talent for a reason. And I think it would be a shame to not share that. Like, I think that if you have this talent for singing, this talent for writing or composing or producing, like I think it's something that you are supposed to do. Like, I think it's a part of your soul journey here. And especially if it brings you joy. I think the things that bring you joy are for a reason. So if creating music is something that brings you joy, it is something you're supposed to do. I think. And I think when you can kind of look at things at more of like a like zoom out a little bit and think about music, like how music relates to me, how it makes me feel, I think you can not overthink as much, because it's like this means so much to me.
Yeah.
Like this is impactful to me. It could be impactful to others. And it's a way to look at it. It's not necessarily like you're going to stop overthinking if you just, believe that. Like, it's definitely a process. Like, it's been years of like therapy and like meditation and like really, really learning more about myself and my intricacies and my triggers and my traumas and all the things that make me who I am has led me to a point to express myself. And I don't think that we should be afraid to express ourselves. I think.
Yeah, that was well said. And it's always a process of the process while you're processing, because it's like it's like never there's never a good time anytime, I would say. And the best time is like just do it. Because I think the fear of change in most people is so crippling. And even if it's good change, because it's change, it's uncomfortable. And fear, like actual fear, is something that you're actually in danger. Like there's some actual threat, like something threatening your life. But anxiety is gives you a similar feeling of fear, but it's like a made up thing in your head.
It's like it hasn't happened yet. Or it hasn't happened and you're afraid.
You're creating the thing. And even if it were to happen, like you making a song, you're scared of making a song and you're scared of putting it out. There's not a real danger for you to actually put the song out or make the song. It's just you creating that danger in your head, and it's stopping you from wanting to express yourself, wanting to actually like just put out stuff. And the easiest path is always going to be the hardest path.
True.
Which is just do it, like just put it out there. And you'll go through that discovery.
It's a discovery process for sure. And it's kind of funny too, because I feel like I was like avoiding coming out with music for a while, and kind of just being like, no, there's plenty of musicians out there, like why me, but it's like everyone can bring a unique style, a unique vision to music. It's kind of like there's so many painters in the world, but everyone paints differently. Like there's so many clothing designers, everyone makes clothes differently. So it's like we can't sort of like silo ourselves into saying why me, but it's like you have your own uniqueness to it. So
because only you can be you,
right?
And no one else can be you.
That's true. No one else has your exact genetic makeup. No one else in the world. I have a twin sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a twin sister.
She could have came here and I wouldn't even known.
Oh, you would have known.
They're like, oh, hey, Brittany, how you doing?
But it's funny though, because I was like, my twin is the closest genetic match to me, but we're still different people. Like we're still different. We still look different, even though we're twins. So it's so funny. You're unique, just the way that you are.
Speaking of twins, have you seen the movie Sinners?
Yes, I did actually.
Oh man, what did you think about that?
It was amazing. Like, since we're talking about music, like I felt like there was such a powerful message when it came to music for that movie, and I like there was so many layers to the movie.
Yeah.
I think it was like, it was the music, it was the guitar, it was
Yeah.
vampires and like
Yeah.
spiritual stuff. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow, like it was very deep. It was a very deep movie.
Yeah, that was. What was your favorite part?
Ah, man. That's a good question.
If you can't narrow it down to one, narrow it down to three.
3?
Yeah. And they don't have to be in a particular ranking order. Just whatever comes into your mind first.
Okay, I have 2.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, I have 3 technically. But okay, so the first one, I really love the part when Pastor Boy, right? Preacher Boy, sorry. Preacher Boy was playing guitar, and all of these different eras of music came in the room. And ironically, that was kind of how the vampire was summoned. But you saw like
spoilers.
Oh yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, it is what it is. If you haven't seen it yet, you're already late. So that's your fault.
It's in the theaters. You should go see it. Yeah, all of these genres of music came in the room, and we're dancing, and I was just like, wow, like you can just see, at least in my mind, I was like, that to me represents how blues is a foundational music for everything that came after it.
Yeah.
And how in some ways we're still connected to the past. We're still connected to blues and the music that came out years ago. Like it still influences us today.
Yeah.
And that I found very powerful. I also really love the part where I think it was Stack. Which one was Stack?
Stack is the red.
Huh?
Stack was red.
Red?
Yeah, Smoke was blue.
Okay, I think it was Smoke. Okay, yeah, his love interest was the woman who...
The white girl? Or the...
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, Smoke. Yeah,
Smoke?
That was Smoke.
Okay,
yeah.
Smoke. Okay. Yeah, I love the scene when he went to visit her.
Okay, yeah.
And, you know, they did their thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, period. Like, I love to see that. Because, like, I don't know, I just don't feel like we don't see, like, curvier women in those type of roles. And I just feel like that was really powerful to see. And she's just an amazing actress just in general.
Yeah.
And her role was very, very significant.
It was.
She
was like the
she
shaman
knew that
lady.
they were vampires.
Yeah,
like she called it out. So those are like my favorite parts.
Okay. Yeah, those are really powerful parts. That music part, I cried in that part. And I didn't even know why. I was just crying. Like I was just crying in the theater. And I was like, wow, like this was so powerful because of the just how they weave the music and how everything was like going from one genre to another, to another, to another. And once you saw like the hip hop part come in and you're like, whoa, they integrated that in this? Because it's based around like 1960s or something like 40s or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And once they integrated all of that, it was just crazy the amount of emotion and storytelling that was.
Right.
And initially I watched the movie because I didn't even look at the trailer. I watched a thing on Ryan Coogler talking. He shot it on film. And when he said that, I was like, I'm watching it.
In.
Yeah, because I'm such like a film nerd.
Yeah,
like in like actual film. Like oh yeah, I gotta watch it. If he spent the time and energy to shoot a movie in film, like I'm going to watch this movie. You know,
that's awesome. Yeah. I didn't watch the trailer either.
Yeah,
so I kind of went in with like a fresh mind.
Yeah. And then the part you're talking about was that was a really powerful moment because that's when they talked about how he was like, I've been around the world, I've seen trains, I've seen whatever deaths, I ain't never seen no like aliens, or no, he didn't say aliens, he said like monsters or demons or something.
Mhm.
Like he says that in there, and she was like, "How do you know? I haven't been praying for you to stay alive because both your
Yeah.
brothers are still here."
Yeah.
And it was a powerful moment too because he still kept
Right.
his
He
little
still had his what was it
like
called?
pouch.
Yeah.
It was like I forgot what she called it, but it was a pouch that she used for protection for him.
Yes.
And I didn't catch it. I watched the movie like 3 times.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And I didn't catch it the first time, but when Stack turns into a vampire and he tries to bite him, there was like a force field thing, and he couldn't get to Smoke's neck. And I was like, oh, because he had the freaking pouch. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't notice that the first time.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, because he went like that, but there was like a weird barrier thing. Yeah.
Dang.
And I was like, whoa.
Like divinely protected.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, dang, that was crazy. Yeah, that was a really good movie.
Yeah, really good movie.
It was super powerful. Hence why it was about storytelling.
Yes.
And you being a writer, starting with poetry, like how does that influence how you make your music? Like how does that go into play? Because poetry, even though music can be poetic, it's different than making music.
True.
So how do you adapt or maneuver between those two?
Yeah. I think growing up, I think I just really had like an affinity for words, written words, because I was really shy growing up. Okay. So I feel like I was a lot more comfortable around like my friends, but like talking in like public scenarios or in class, I was like, no.
Yeah.
But I would read a lot. I would write a lot. And I would journal. I still have my journals from like middle school. Nice. Just like, I like this boy and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm like, girl, go to class. Like, don't be caught up in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because I started to just write a lot when I was younger, I think it just allowed me to like really articulate written words really well.
Yeah.
And because of that, and because of the poetry and music and like the lyricism and music, I kind of just like put 2 and 2 together. So first, just like listening to music for a long time, like a lot of years just listening to music, and then being like, oh, like let me try to like make something myself or like come up with like a story behind what I've experienced, because I feel like I write from a very like personal perspective. Like a lot of the things I write are things that I've experienced or experiencing currently.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think music and lyrics invite you to be honest and vulnerable if you want to.
Yeah.
Or just play around and have fun. Like I feel like there's a lot of room to really do whatever you want with lyrics. And I feel like for me, I've just kind of found that space very healing to like write something down, sing it, express it. Like, I just feel like that's like something I really gravitate towards. Do you hear the words when you hear a beat or you create a song, or do you create the song and then create the words? That's a great question. I notice I kind of can do both.
Okay.
So sometimes lyrics will come to my head without any melody.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that just sounds really cool. Because I think your voice can also act as a melody in a way too. So I've had it happen where the lyrics come first without the melody. I would say majority of the time hearing the melody helps a lot too. So like if I'm playing guitar, it helps me to create the lyrics that way. Similarly, if I'm like making a beat, like I can come up with lyrics that way too. But I'll just like play something over and over again, and then I'll just like, first it's like babble at first.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Trying to figure the cadence or
Yeah,
whatever.
figuring
Yeah,
it
yeah.
out. And then the more you write it down, it's like, oh, okay, this is what I want to say.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how a lot of my songs came about. First, it was just like me just like talking off the top of my head. And then
Yeah.
at some point it starts to create a story, or I find ways to make it a story and I find the lyrics for it.
Okay.
And then it just takes a new form,
Yeah.
I want to say.
And sometimes it can shift too once you develop like the music part of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's true.
Because like sometimes you may add a bridge or whatever,
Right.
and
that's
then like,
happened for me.
Yeah.
Like even the song I'm working on now, like
Yeah.
it's completely different from what I originally wrote down at
Yeah.
first. So yeah.
And that's important too, because sometimes if you wait on a song too long, that song may become different because you're gonna feel something different in, you know, like later on. So
Yeah.
like if you're really trying to create a song, like try to make it that song in the beginning so that you can have that initial emotion.
Right.
Because I've left songs to where like it started out a certain way, but because I waited 3 months or 4 months or whatever, I don't have that same feeling anymore. And now I have to change it to whatever I'm feeling now, and it's like
Right.
completely different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
And so that could be like 2 songs already right there. And because, you know, I waited or whatever, now that, you know, and it's not to take away from the art, but the song could have been itself
Right.
if you just like kind of
Yeah.
just made it then and there. How was that process for you? Like, do you, when you're inspired, are you able to like just go straight through, or do you like, how long does it take you to make a song? I guess I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. So I think it depends majority of the time, but I think a first initial draft for me probably takes like maybe like a month. Like I feel like it's a process because I'm doing the production, I'm doing the guitar, I'm doing like I'm just touching so many different parts of it.
Yeah.
But the writing doesn't take as long than the production. But the writing, I could probably do it in like a couple days if I'm like really focused on it.
Yeah.
And I want actually to go back to your point about like working on a song right then and there. I feel like that's really helped me because even if you don't want to keep the first draft, it's still good, you know, to have something to base it off of. Like I've changed lyrics of songs that I didn't think I was going to change. But because I made a draft of it, it's kind of like, okay, I'm able to listen to it back, see what makes sense for me to say, see what doesn't make sense for me to say. And I think you kind of have to like make something first, even if you don't really like it. It's okay because you can always change it. You can always go back, refine things. And that's what I noticed for the song I'm working on now is like it's completely different from what I originally thought. I completely changed the whole melody of the lyrics, and now it just sounds a lot better to me because I was open to change. I was open to changing things. And new stories, I think, too, kind of came out as well. Like, you don't have to be like ascribed to like one specific story when it comes to your lyrics because it may change. You may have like a different word that inspires you or experience. So I feel like it's good to like be open to changing things and like being flexible through the process. Yeah.
When I heard you say your experience can change the song, how important is it then for you as an artist to like go out and do stuff, experience things, so that you can keep like your artistry going. Because sometimes, like, not even sometimes, I would say most of the time, most artists are like super introverts. I would say, and they don't want to go out and like put themselves out there, like go to like a jazz night thing or whatever, go to events, you know what I mean? And how has that helped you in making your art?
That's a great question. I have actually like learned this over time. I'm an ambivert. So
What is that?
So an
We just making up words now.
I did not make that up. Ambiverts are introverts and extroverts.
Okay.
So they're both.
Okay.
And
You're Indiana Audi.
Yes. So they can flex in between. It could be situational. It could be like depending on your mood, depending on the day. That's what I feel like I am. And I think I get inspiration because of that on both sides. Like, because I can be introverted, I get inspiration by being by myself, by talking to myself, writing things down, like reading books. Like, I feel like that time is still very, very important. And then being out in the world, that's when I think inspiration strikes too.
Yeah.
Like, the lyrics may come, you may hear like a cool melody, like actually experiencing live music. Like, I think seeing live music is so powerful and important, especially as a musician.
Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of like both. It's like being out in the world, experiencing it, taking it in, and writing something about it. And like, if I need to silo myself for a little bit, like, I'm cool with that. Like, I have certain time frames when I'm social and time frames when I'm not. And I feel like that's okay. Like, it's okay to feel where you're at. If you want to be around people, cool. If you don't, cool.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, and then that's definitely the personal journey of it all. Because sometimes, like, living in LA and being an artist, it feels like you need to be out and about like all the time.
Yeah.
Because there's like so many events happening all the time, and sometimes maybe you're feeling like you're missing out because you're not doing stuff or whatever. And that is really important to be able to take like an assessment, self-assessment of what is required of me right now so that I can create my art or get these projects done. Because also, if you are just out, you're never going to have enough time to finish your projects.
Exactly.
and actually even contemplate on the experiences that you had.
Yeah.
Because you're keep bombarding experiences and you're not able to like really process them.
Yeah.
In your, what are there, so you said you're coming out with this single.
Yes.
What other parts of your artistry are you working on or combining with? And because you said you're what's that word you used?
Multi-hyphenate?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, so right now I'm also developing my content creator journey. So I work with beauty brands, wellness brands. I also love to do just like talking videos about like mental health, and recently was actually in a campaign for Rare Beauty. Me and my sister were in their Black History Month campaign.
Okay.
And they were celebrating Black women, celebrating our beauty. And it was really powerful. And I find that to be another powerful space to be in, like beauty and wellness and content creation. So that's another space that I'm developing myself in, as well as acting.
Okay.
I took acting classes last year, and it really was a really cool experience for me.
Yeah.
I had done acting before, just like being in like friends' productions, but actually learning from a teacher and getting like solid critiques.
Yeah.
It was really important. Like I didn't really know how much emotion goes into acting, and so that's like another thing that I'm developing too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So with the acting, there's a lot of like character development stuff. Does your writing help? Have you seen like a cross I don't know, like a cross platform type of thing with your writing and the whole acting part? Like, does that, how has that helped you in that journey of your artistry?
Yeah, I think for me, I would say, I think the acting journey for me and writing kind of helps me when I think about like the visuals. So when I think about music videos or visualizers, because I feel like visuals are still really important to me when it comes to music. And I feel like I think it could be fun to make a short film that has my music in it and I'm acting in it.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And like, that's something that I want to do. And that can be something that I write as well. So I think that being able to tap into these different characters, if I'm doing a short film, I can also compose it as well. So I feel like they can kind of like
intermingle.
They can kind of intermingle. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of funny, I think, because I feel like a lot of musicians are also actors.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, because you're a performer.
Yeah.
If you're on stage,
so
you're
like,
it's just like a natural transition to it.
Right.
Because you're already like kind of creating a persona.
Yeah.
When you are on stage, you know, that makes sense. Have you seen the movie Guava Island?
Yes.
That is so amazing.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
That's what I thought of when you said that, because it's such a brilliant like way to promote your album.
Right.
Is make a short film and use your album. The whole movie is pretty much your album.
True.
And it was just so well made, and it's like grassroots type filming to where the music production was like amazing, and the whole movie is like just a giant music video. True. In a sense, but with a story in it.
Yeah,
you
with
know?
a story. Yeah.
And so that's what I imagined when you were talking about like using your acting and then creating a visual for it.
Yep.
What are we looking forward to? So you have your single.
Yeah.
What are your, like, for your new fans or the people that are watching you already, like what is upcoming with you, and what can your fans recognize you for in terms of like the type of content you're creating? Like what value are you sharing with them that will help them, you know, and like in their own journeys?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can look out for new music, as you said. But also I'm doing some collaborations with a upcoming director and working with her on her monologues. Okay. So a lot more acting coming up as well. And for me, I also am planning to create my own lo-fi beat album to study to.
Okay.
So
no words.
No words.
Okay.
Yeah, that I listen to lo-fi music a lot. Actually, it's probably the main music I listen to is like lo-fi beats.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I'm working on, like learning how to make lo-fi beats. Because I'd love to either like make like something on my YouTube channel that's just live and you can just keep listening to the lo-fi music, or it's an album or probably similarly, you can listen to it on Spotify.
Yeah.
So just a lot more like fun music projects, acting projects, modeling projects.
Okay.
And I think that value wise, I really am transparent in my content when it comes to my journey. Like I said, I'm very like DIY, like
Yeah.
this is very much me putting myself out on the internet and seeing what happens. And I think it's really inspiring to see other people doing it. I feel like I've seen other people put themselves out there, see other people put out music and content, and that's really inspired me to do my own version of that. So I hope that anyone who's watching can just watch my journey on all of the different things I'm doing. Being a multi-hyphenate can be a lot because you're doing so many different things and you're, just busy. But I really do feel like it does like serve a purpose in the long run. And I think especially if it's something you're inspired by and excited about, like that's what really drives me, is like what brings me joy. And like acting brings me joy, music brings me joy, modeling. So it's like, okay, cool. Like I wrote it down.
Yeah.
I wrote down what I enjoy, and those were the things. So yeah, I want to show like my journey in that, and that anyone can really do it. I think we're living in a time now where we have so much access to resources, and if we can really just use it to our advantage, like I think social media is a tool to show your artistry and connect with people. And if you can use that, then a lot of cool things can happen. I think you can build a business. I think you can transform your life. People have done it. I've seen it. So I think it's important to share your story. Like you never know who's listening or who's watching. And I think we can all help each other be the best version of ourselves. And if seeing me doing what I love inspires you, then like I'm doing my job. Like that's what Frank Ocean did for me. That's what Tyler the Creator did for me. Like they put themselves out there to inspire us. And I appreciate that about them. So I'm doing that too.
Nice. And that is the beauty. That's like being able to pass on the torch. And the creative space is vast. So like every space is saturated. So it doesn't matter. Like let it be more saturated, and let you find your people, let you find your tribe, and literally just like take the leap into doing what it is that you enjoy, and don't let whatever stories in your mind stop you, because they're all make-believe, the stories. And so what I've been doing is making stories that go towards my favor, because they're all
like
make-believe anyways.
Rewriting the script.
Because if they're already make-believe, might as well make up a story that works towards your goal, or works towards what you're working on, works towards your dream, your reality that you want to create. Instead of believing in your doubt, believe in your success. And that has been just a pivotal mind shift. Because I think like the doubt and the thought of doubt and thought of success is like the same coin, and it just depends on which side you're really more focused on. And closing out here, do you want to I'm gonna throw her details on the description, but do you want to share your details with the fans here?
Yeah, definitely. So you can find me on Instagram. My name is Brittany Goodwin, and I am Brittany G. That's BRITTANY. That's how I spell it. And on TikTok at I'm Brittany G, and YouTube I'm Brittany G.
Nice.
So keep them all the same.
Consistent handle.
Consistency.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, soon Spotify, Apple Music,
Nice.
all of that. So yeah.
Awesome, man. And it was I appreciate you being on the pod.
Thank you.
Coming out, answering all these questions.
This was really fun.
Nice. I'm glad. Yeah, we definitely try to make it like relaxing.
Yeah, I love that.
Just conversational. Do you have any projects with your twin?
Not coming up, but I'm sure we're gonna do like modeling together again at some point. Yeah,
nice.
We just did the Rare Beauty one.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure we'll do more modeling for brands and all of that. So yeah, nice. I feel like I'm excited for that too.
Awesome, cool. And well, that's it for today. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah,
appreciate it all.